We got more pictures of Bill Clinton on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. And this comes as Bill Clinton was set to speak at the Democratic National Convention. Now, did they cancel Bill Clinton at the Democratic National Convention? Hell no, they didn't. In fact, I lost it. I was trying to show it in the... my next video coming out here is actually going to be my response to the Democratic National Convention. And the Washington Post had this excellent headline on their front page that said, Bill Clinton and other luminaries to speak tonight, which is tonight. It'll be last night by the time you guys see this. But Bill Clinton and other luminaries. So, they put that headline out the same day that we get this from the Daily Mail. Exclusive. Would you mind giving it a crack? Bill Clinton leans back and smiles while receiving neck massage from Epstein victim, 22. So at least she wasn't, 16. And never before seen photos during trip on pedophile's plane to Africa in 2002 as he addresses them convention tonight. Oh, you gotta love it. Now, this is not, I know we're all waiting for the big indictable moment. We're waiting for the names to drop that somebody has been arrested for their ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Unfortunately, I hate to keep you waiting. This is not going to be the video where you get that. But I told you guys when this stuff broke that I was going to follow this closely. And so, even the little things, it's just little things that add up, Sometimes you don't get everything you want, but you get little grains of sand, and they end up making a mountain at some point. So we have here, Bill Clinton grins with pleasure as he enjoys an intimate neck massage with young Jeffrey Epstein victim and never-before-seen photographs obtained exclusively by DailyMail.com. They seem to be breaking a lot of these pictures. How do they keep getting them? The troubling pictures are an ill-timed reminder of Clinton's links to Epstein as the former president, 72, prepares to endorse Joe Biden tonight at the Democratic Convention. Clinton traveled numerous times on the dead pedophile's private jet. I'm sorry, it never gets old hearing the media refer to him as the dead pedophile or the dead pervert. I like actually hearing the media call something for what it is, for once. We don't get that often, so take my little pleasures where I get them. On the dead pedophile's private jet, the Lolita Express, socialized with his alleged madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, and faced a slew of sexual misconduct accusations himself during his years in public life. Yet the 42nd president of the United States is still revered in progressive circles despite the renewed focus on Epstein's crimes and the predatory behavior of rich, powerful men laid bare by the Me Too movement. Yeah. Oh, let's not forget Michelle Obama. Well, I'm not going to get into that right now. It was better served on the last video. In the photos, Clinton sits comfortably and laughs as Shantae Davis, a 22-year-old massage therapist who acted as Epstein's personal masseuse, rubs her hands into his shoulders to get out the kinks in his neck. And you can see, yeah. So, Bill Clinton is seen enjoying Bill Clinton is enjoying a neck massage from a Jeffrey Epstein victim and never before seen photographs obtained exclusively by Daily Mail. Okay. Had complained of having a stiff neck after falling asleep on Epstein's notorious private jet while on a humanitarian trip with the pedophile and to Africa back in September 2002 after Maxwell's insistence. Clinton asked the 20-something, would you mind giving it a crack? And this picture's been out. This was another picture of Clinton with Shantae Davis. So that's not a new one. But Clinton, then 56, complained of having a stiff neck after falling asleep on Epstein's infamous private jet, nicknamed the Lolita Express, while on a humanitarian trip with the pedophile to Africa in September of 2002. Maxwell, who is now in prison on sex trafficking charges, repeatedly encouraged Davies to give Clinton a massage while the group was refueling at a small airport in Portugal after flying from New York. After Maxwell's insistence, Clinton asked, okay, we already said, will you give it a crack? The images show Clinton, we don't care what Clinton was wearing. In a second image, Clinton seems to be smiling in relief as a sweatpants-clad Davies massaged him. Davies, who had claimed she was raped by Epstein several times after being recruited by Maxwell, said Clinton was a complete gentleman on the trip. Now, there's some people that are probably going to think, oh, well, then there's nothing to this. But let's remember, Clinton was also spotted on Epstein Island with a couple young girls. And you have to remember what trip this was. This was the infamous Africa trip that was, they were joined by Chris Tucker and Kevin Spacey, who, we all know Kevin Spacey has his issues, for sure. So chances are Bill Clinton was not going to be behaving himself poorly in front of a lot of witnesses. So maybe he was a gentleman on that trip. That does not necessarily excuse him for being on a trip on Jeffrey Epstein's plane with young girls, getting his back rubbed. He is a married man, after all. Although, Hillary Clinton. Ugh. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, sorry. The whole married man and thought of Hillary Clinton actually being somebody's wife it's just grossed me out. Davies, who has claimed that she was raped by Epstein, was a perfect gentleman on the trip. She previously said that she was invited to travel to Africa 1 week before the departure, and when she arrived to the airfield, she was instructed to wear a uniform to look professional. Davies acted as an air stewardess on the flight and described being shocked when Clinton boarded the plane, saying that he was charming and sweet. Davies, now in her early 40s, said of the massage pictures, although the image looks bizarre, President Clinton was a perfect gentleman during the trip, and I saw absolutely no foul play involving him. Of course, like I said, on that trip, a lot of witnesses, a lot of people. She explained that, and it was also a humanitarian trip, so there was probably a good bit of press coverage for it as well. This was not a fully leisure trip. It was a humanitarian trip, which who knows what these people do under the guise of humanitarian trips. Not even talking in terms of the abuse of women, but what kind of deals they work out with some third world nations that profit and benefit them. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on what I think happened there. I'm just saying it makes you wonder. She explained the massage happened when we had a stopover for the jet to refuel, and while we were in the terminal, the ex-president was complaining of stiffness from falling asleep in his chair. Ghislaine chimed in to be funny and said I could give him a massage. Everyone had a chuckle, but Ghislaine, in her prim British accent, insisted and said I was good. The president then asked me, would you mind giving it a crack? So here we actually have pictures from inside the plane, the Lolita Express. And I don't know if I've seen these pictures before, to be honest. These might be new, they might not. You can see that there's a bedroom in there. There you can see it's actually made up. So there it looks before the party, after the party. Before, after, that's what it looks like. He turned his back to me, and I reached up and I started to rub out the kink in our former president's neck and shoulder. The massage therapist then revealed her embarrassment after innocently telling Clinton, I've got a bad angle, would you mind getting on your knees? Describing the incident, she said, I'm not at all sure what came over me. In an excerpt from the soon-to-be-released memoir, Davies added, I was groggy, and I also have always been the queen of putting my foot in my mouth. For a moment, the room fell silent. I couldn't believe I'd said that. The words just shot out before I realized what I was saying or who I said it to. Then, although his face had turned the color of fire, he laughed. The whole room was laughing too, and being the good sport that he was, he sat down so I could get a better angle. Epstein and Maxwell, along with other celebrities, accompanied Clinton on the trip to Africa in September 2002. It was part of a project for Clinton's foundation to raise awareness about poverty and the AIDS crisis in the continent. Yeah, the Clinton Foundation is known for going to third world countries and absolutely, well, I was going to use the word raping them, but I meant that more so in a financial sense, although really I guess in both sense. Just look at Haiti. Look at what the Clinton Foundation did at Haiti. What was it, like $500 million, and they built 6 homes or something and left the place looking like a disaster and children missing all over the place? Yeah, no. Don't tell me that the Clinton Foundation is doing any kind of humanitarian deed that they're not getting their due for. Then, although all right, so let's see. Epstein and Maxwell, along with the other celebrities, accompanied Clinton. Okay, so Clinton and Maxwell were pictured posing together as they boarded Epstein's plane. Of course. Other pictures show the politician traveling on the infamous jet while playing cards with a cigar in his mouth. The star-studded trip, which included actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker, visited the countries of Ghana, Nigeria, Rwanda, Mozambique, and South Africa during the 5-day humanitarian trip. Epstein was previously accused of using his private jet to transport underage girls to his various luxury homes in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, and even Paris. American dignitaries and rich and powerful figures also traveled on the jet. We know all this stuff, so I'm not going to read the rest of this. And actually, when you go down, it's like the article repeats itself as they show the pictures. But we can see Shantae Davis in the Davies in the uniform they asked her to wear. We can see her here with with Jeffrey Epstein. So Davies was thrust into Epstein's inner circle when she was training to be a massage therapist at a college in Los Angeles. She wound up meeting Ghislaine at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills, and just hours after meeting the now-jailed socialite, Ghislaine contacted Davies to ask her to take a private jet with her to Epstein's Palm Beach home. Okay, so I guess there is some more information here. In July of 2019, she was interviewed by the FBI and Assistant Attorney General of New Mexico. Epstein was arrested and charged in New York 5 days later. He committed suicide in his jail cell in August. We all know he didn't. We all know that was a lie. We know it's bullshit. Davies was thrust into Epstein's inner circle when she was training. Okay, we read that part of the Four Seasons Hotel. And just hours after meeting the jailed socialite, Ghislaine Maxwell contacted Davies and asked her to take a private jet with her to Epstein's Palm Beach, Florida home. Within weeks, she was jetting around the world on the Lolita Express and was flown to Epstein's private island where she said she was attacked. So I guess that's how they lure people. They lured these girls in. Sorry, I've been fighting that sneeze off for about 5 minutes. I couldn't hold it back anymore. So within weeks, she was jetting around the world on the Lolita Express and was flown to Epstein's island where she said she was attacked. Davies said earlier this year that revisiting the photos made her question how such powerful people were pulled into Epstein's circle as he was committing heinous sex crimes. It's clear that Epstein was using the private jet in his wealth to get close to rich and powerful people, Davies said. Looking back at these images now, it raises a lot of questions about why Bill Clinton was using the plane and what perhaps Jeffrey may have been trying to accomplish by having him around. And that is the question, guys. That's the question. What was Bill Clinton doing? If this was a humanitarian effort, what was Epstein doing there? Why was Epstein involved? Why were underage, or I guess she wasn't underage, why were young girls even being brought along on these trips? What was Davies even doing there? Why was Shantae Davis on a humanitarian trip to Africa? And we've heard some things did go on that trip, maybe not in front of Shantae Davies. In fact, at that point, like they said, she was 22, so maybe she was too old for the group by then. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I know a lot of people watch these videos. They don't subscribe. You know, still a growing channel. I can always use your help. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Share this video. Let people know what's going on with Epstein and all these other things. Also, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Parler at Ram Thorburn. And if you are interested in contributing to the channel, there are links to my Subscribestar, Patreon, and PayPal down in the description below. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll have a good day, and hopefully we'll have some more damning indictments coming soon.